Hey adventurers, welcome back to Mythril Markham's, and today we're going to talk about Boffer and this cool hobby.
Yeah, have you ever been driving by a park or a field or maybe even walking past a gymnasium and seeing these people swinging
Like
what
bats or something.
bats, foam weapons, something like that, and you're like, what is that? Well, Alex, what are we talking about today?
Yeah, might look ridiculous, and then you might be thinking that also could be fun to try, and we did. These are the 5 things that you should know about this cool hobby. And you might be wondering what that is. Well, Boffer is more of the competitive fighting sport of LARPing, less of the fantasy LARP aspect.
Which, of course, I like that aspect of LARP in general. It's just that. But I guess since we're doing something less fantasy, I'm gonna take this off.
Yeah.
And
right.
Yeah.
Like,
let's get serious. Now.
Real armor versus this woven Spirit Halloween. It's more about sparring, I guess. It's more about the controlled hits and footwork, and less about the casting of the magic. Like I said, more like a touch football type of game. More Greco-Roman wrestling and less WWE theatrics, as some LARPs are.
So the second thing that we want to focus on in today's video is the rule set. There's 2 commonly used rule sets in the world of Boffer, and that is Amp Guard and
Belegar.
And we're going to talk just a little bit about the Amp Guard rule set. It's more based around the fantasy aspect, so that's why you have your established magic rules. You got established characters, but I think really we want to talk about...
Yeah, so Sanctorum, who we train with, they use the Belegar rule set, and we'll explain that in about 60 seconds here. The whole rule set is based on if you get hit hard enough, take your hits and call them. If a limb is hit, such as think of you're wearing a one-piece bathing suit, and so that's your chest, that is 2 hits, that means you're downed. But an arm or a leg is 1 hit and it's disabled, and then you act as if it's disabled, such as it doesn't work, put it behind your back, or kneel down on 1 or 2 legs. And then there's armor that can help either buff yourself, such as it can take 1 extra hit and or completely nullify a hit, like a shield would if someone was trying to hit with 1 stab.
Right, guys, call your hits in this game. We're all here to have fun. And the big thing when we're talking about rules is they're there for the safety aspect of the game. So we're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not trying to give concussions or anything like that. So no swings at the head. There's only really 2 weapons or things in the game that can go to the head. That's going to be your arrows and your javelins, and then the rocks.
Yeah, the rock only hurts if it hits the unarmored head, but armored, so look out for flying arrows because those headshots still count.
It's crazy sometimes. You decide, like, you have rocks flying all over the place and arrows. The good thing about those is they're padded. They're specifically designed to have that cushion so you're not going to injure somebody.
Yeah, like we said, Boffer is one of the safest LARPs due to the fact that it's more athletic, and the foam doesn't look as realistic, so it makes it so that you have more foam and everything is a bit more controlled. So there's a bit more regulation upon those weapons, such as the classifications that we have.
Right.
So the basic blue, such as a one-handed sword, or a mace, or an axe, or even a flail.
Yeah, that's my favorite blue weapon. We actually, I think in one of our crafting sessions, we're going to make that weapon because I really want one. Because it in the strategy we can go in another more advanced one, like strategics, why you use certain weapons over others. But yeah, of those weapons, I do like the flail.
Right, and then we have the red weapons, which is essentially a 2-handed weapon, such as like a great sword, and or a great axe, or a spear. Example, is the one-handed sword is like a Spartan sword that you would see from 300.
So like your two-hander can be like the bigger ones, like Aragorn would use, and people like that. Longer,
Yeah.
where you need two hands to control it really well.
No, that would be considered two-handed red, which will do 2 damage and can pierce through armor as well as break shields. And then you have the green weapon, which essentially is a stabbing weapon or a polearm weapon, generally wielded with 2 hands. But green can go on any sort of stabbing weapon, which means it has increased cushion for thrusting, and that's well regulated for safety.
And I think really what you're going to see a lot of those implementations are those shield walls. A lot of them will have behind them those thrust weapons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it's kind of insane to see in real life. You know, you have like 5 or 10 people against 5 or 10 people with these shield walls. But the big thing when it comes to safety with the shields is we're not using them as weapons. So you're not smacking at people, you're not pushing into people with those shields. Yeah. If you're gonna push at anything with a shield, it's gonna be an incoming hit from a red or a blue weapon.
They're gonna be the shields are going to be soft and mainly made out of foam, as well as having soft foam edges. That will protect anyone from doing that. And yeah, like you said, we're not using them as weapons, so it's only for strictly defense. So essentially, when you first start getting into LARP and Boffer, if you want to try it out, the basic thing is called sword and board. You have your one blue bat-looking weapon, and then you have a shield, and that's your sword and board combo.
Yeah.
You don't need to put on elaborate armor.
Yeah, I'm definitely not a armor wearer. I will not. I try to have as little layers as possible because I am a sweater. I sweat through everything. Yes, dude, I sweat. I look like, dude, if.
Well, that brings us to the third thing that for today, and that's about how easy Boffer is to get into. So you don't need to have such elaborate costumes and anything like that. You can kind of use anything. But the weapons that we were just talking about, like I said, we're going to be doing a crafting video about how to create these weapons. And you can kind of go to any of your local department stores or craft stores that will sell like PVC and foam. And you can generally make your own for a pretty budgetary price. We'll have a list of websites here or places that you can go to in the links below to buy or purchase the well-made ones with cores and everything that you need for them to be safe, flexible, and long-lasting. So you don't have to worry about the role-play aspects of this, so you don't have to fear. It's literally more about the action, the footwork, and being better as a competitor or a swordsman, as well as getting together in a community. The best part about Boffer, it's very easy to find and get into, and very affordable. And of course, you can always upgrade your stuff and wear bigger. As you'll see in the video, we have a guy dressed up as a Roman soldier, all decked out. And the fourth thing is Boffer is a very safe and fun hobby.
If you've never been to a LARP before, it's a great way to kind of dip your toes into and ultimately learn the proper way to fight with foam weapons. So when you do go to your bigger LARPs, when you go to your Fey Havens, your Beaklings, you can safely interact in those battles where, you know, my first time going to one of those events, you know, I think I swung a little too hard because I didn't have that training to know how to still land my strikes, but also not with that complete force like you would in real life if you were in a real battle.
You also won't get shaken or nervous when you encounter a band of orcs in some regards, because you'll already know how to get on a front line and just have fun safely with everyone. And even just in training, because it's good exercise for us, even as we start to get older. You got to stretch always. Thank God for VA healthcare, because one time I didn't stretch and I seriously injured my leg.
And if you watch our video talking about the Great Lakes Run Fair we kind of, you know, have the little tidbit in there about that because it was around that time.
Yeah.
So, you know, definitely you got to be doing, this is not just you sitting on the couch and you know, throwing up Skyrim and playing that way. You're doing something physical with your body. So you need to do the proper things to protect your body from injury.
Yep. And that also brings it to the rules of like costuming and stuff, where essentially if you do end up wearing armor or something like that, that it doesn't have a bunch of spikes or anything, everything must be cushioned and padded so that it won't hurt anybody and you're not grappling with someone or even bumping into someone. And this would be fine, but the only thing is athletically, it's fun to wear, but it's like wearing training armor, or it's literally training with 10 more pounds on you.
Allison, I think that leads us into the fifth thing we're covering on today's episode.
Essentially, this amazing hobby has a bunch of great communities and local communities that you can find anywhere around the country, even around the world, honestly. The group that I joined here in Toledo is called Sanctorum, and they have a unit called the Blades that I got inducted into. And it's a fun group of people. Essentially, their leader, Rogue, we did an interview at the Yuletide, kind of explaining a little bit more about the group and how it runs and how other groups in the Belagarth system kind of run.
This is your Rogue?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
Rogue the Dragon.
Rogue the Dragon.
Yeah.
So unit is Blades, Realm is Sanctorum,
Yes.
right? And Belagarth is the game format?
Yes.
Okay. Or you guys more of the live action, the Feyhaven stuff will be like the role play.
How ours goes, it's, you squire and then you become a knight after, you finish all your tasks and stuff like
Yeah. Now is that sidebar from the units like preparedness stuff where it's like, okay, you have to be good with a
Yeah.
one-handed blue, right?
Yeah.
And then
It's like an extra tidbit.
Yeah.
With our little rank up system, it's more of just kind of like for funsies,
Yeah.
like showboating in the group.
mhm.
Has really nothing to do if you want to be a leader or anything like that.
So that's just a part of this community. There's a bunch of combatants and non-combatants and people that help out. So you don't always have to go in and be a part of the fight.
Yeah, and the great thing is that what I really found is there is this camaraderie aspect that, you get from like the military, like that kind of fills that gap. And that's what's great about, these type of groups, especially, the unit Blades, is they're a very tight-knit group. And if you're looking for community, if you're looking for, a place to, find a new group of friends because you're new to an area, being part of a Boffer group, being part of a Boffer unit is an amazing aspect to this hobby that we call LARP.
Yeah, and honestly, it's kind of funny how much veterans are kind of drawn to this kind of community and this kind of activity.
I mean, we're not veterans at all. No, not us, not us. No. So the great thing, and when we're talking about non-combatants, right? We're bringing up the non-combatant side of things. There's a huge different things that need to be filled within a Boffer unit. Similar to like what Acorn does. I mean, he does the combat and he's fantastic at it. But Alice, I know you have a little thing you say about it. You say is what Acorn
Armory. Yeah.
Acorn Armory. He has everything and he's always there to lend out equipment. So even if you're coming into it and you have no equipment, you don't know how to safely put something together, maybe not have the funds to make one. I feel like every unit has an armorer like Acorn. Maybe not as cool. Probably not as cool.
That's just the heart of the community. It just seems to always be like, oh, hey, I'll definitely lend you something to help you play. And
Right. And I know, for me, we actually have to do this in one of our streams. We have to fix my personal Boffer weapon,
Oh, it's the spear.
which you were calling a staff earlier. But what we have to do is we have to just replace this so we can make it safe. But this is something that I really want to be using when we're talking about Boffer combat. So like the really big thing is getting intertwined with your local Boffer realm, Boffer unit. But hey guys, put in the comment section below any sort of Boffer events you've been to, any Boffer event stories you have. And the big thing is having those comment sections down below. It really helps the channel out. And then also like, and if you guys like the content, subscribe. And the big thing is, you guys,
Make sure to stay safe and keep on adventuring.
have a blessed day. Like and subscribe.
Hey everybody, Kyle here. I want to do a quick video at the end of this episode to shout out our Patreon members. Every week, if you are a Patreon member, you get put on this list of all of our Patreon members. So if you want to be a part of that list, go to the description below and hit that link to Patreon and join. Also in 2026, we're going to be doing some exclusive content for the Patreon. So if you guys want that content, join the Patreon. Also, I wanted to shout out our graphic designer, Brian. He has been with us since the start of this channel, and he's really done some amazing stuff for us. So I'm excited for what he's brought to the channel, but also what he's bringing to the channel. So Brian, thank you again. Everybody, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.